My husband, 38M, opened up to me, 39F, about feeling overwhelmed at work, and he's upset with me for how I responded. My husband, 38M, and I, 39F, have been married for 6 years and have a 3-year-old son. We both work full-time and live comfortably within our means. We have a house in the suburbs with a nice yard. We have a dog, we're healthy, we really don't have much to complain about. But over the past few months, I've noticed a big change in my husband's behavior. Not for the better. He's been very moody and doesn't seem to take joy in anything at all lately. This time frame does coincide with a coworker of his being fired. My husband is a service tech for a technology company, and this is the busiest time of the year for them. His coworker that got fired was the only other service tech that they had. They are in the process of hiring some help. My husband has been on his own since mid-January. He's not the type to reach out and ask for help. I can tell the stress is getting to him. I've suggested many times that he look into finding someone to talk to like a therapist. I've been in therapy for 3 years for my own issues, and I've gotten a lot of help out of it. He always makes excuses about how he doesn't have time to do that sort of thing. Right now, I remind him that if he did virtual therapy like I do, then it's a lot easier to find time to do it. He said it's not that easy because I work from home, so I can just take an hour to do it. It's not the same for him since he has to work in the office. But finally, last week, he sent me a long text one morning saying that he is struggling and feels like he's drowning at work. I told him that I've noticed a difference in his behavior at home and that I want to see positive change out of him. I told him he needs to talk with his boss to find ways to ease his workload and take some pressure off of him. I told him he also needs to seriously look into finding someone else to talk to because I'm not sure how to best support him right now. He pretty much immediately sent a text back telling me that the last thing he wanted to hear was more things that he needs to do. He said he has a month worth of work backed up already, and the last thing he needs is another task to do. He texted that this is exactly why he doesn't open up to me about things, because I never do anything to actually help him and just tell him what I think he needs to do. I apologized right away. He didn't respond. That afternoon, our son ended up getting sick at daycare and had to come home early. I didn't really get a chance to talk to my husband about it again. Then, the next day I left for a weekend away. I didn't really talk to him again until last night. I finally asked him how he's doing. He told me that if I don't know how to support him after over 10 years together and can only think of telling him what to do, then he doesn't know what else to say. YBTA if I broke up with my boyfriend because his friends got him a me-shaped piñata. I, 22, female, and my boyfriend Matt, 22, male, have been together for a year and 8 months. Matt and I go to different universities in neighboring cities. About a 45-minute drive. Matt is in a fraternity. Important for later. It was Matt's birthday on Friday, and him and went out to dinner to celebrate. After dinner, I went back to my university since I live on campus. The next evening, I was on Instagram, and I clicked on one of our mutual friends' private story, and I saw Matt and a bunch of his friends hitting and stomping on a piñata. By clicking through more of the stories, I figured it must have been a surprise party for Matt, since he had told me his only birthday plans were dinner with me. And on the last slide of the Instagram story, I got a close-up of the piñata, and it looked exactly like me. From the hair color to the skin color, even down to my septum piercing. There was no doubt that it was me. I was really confused, and I screen recorded the stories. Then I messaged the friend who posted the story. I asked her if that was me as the piñata, and she left me on read and removed me from the close friend's story. This just confirmed my suspicions. The next day, I texted him and asked how his party went, and he acted confused and said he never had a party. I was confused as to why he was lying to me. I told him I saw it on mutual friends' private story, and then he completely stopped answering. An hour later, he answered and said, "Yeah, the guys threw me a surprise birthday party. It's frat tradition not to talk about it, though." That's when I asked him about the me-shaped piñata, and I sent him the video of him and his friends destroying it. He told me that it was not me, it was just a random piñata the guys had found. I told him to stop lying to me and that it was obviously me. I told him how hurt I was that he would allow his friends to do something like that. All he could answer was that they would kick him out of the frat if he didn't accept it. I also brought up how, if his frat had thrown him a surprise party, why wasn't I invited? I was only like 45 minutes away. I knew it wasn't because it was only guys, because the mutual friend who had posted on the story was a girl who goes to his university. And I saw in the story there were multiple girls there. He stopped answering me and hasn't since. It's been a day with no contact. I'm honestly considering breaking up with him over this. I've caught him in lies before, but this is just too much. The video of him and his friends stomping the piñata was just so disturbing to find out that my face was on it. We were planning on moving in together after graduation, but honestly, I don't know anymore. Would I be the asshole if I broke up with him over this? Update. So Matt texted me back after a full day of incognito. He finally admitted that yes, the piñata was supposed to be me. He said it just a joke, and it was meant to be funny. I told him how disrespectful and disturbing that was. I ended up breaking up with him and told him I wasn't going to stay with a man-child who was going to disrespect me for the fun of him and his friends. He completely lost it and begged me to stay. He was apologizing and saying he didn't want to lose me and blah, blah, blah. After I made it clear I wasn't going to take him back, he literally sent me a video of him making out with mutual friend. I don't know what the point of that was. Maybe just a final F you, but I honestly couldn't care at that point. I now realized how immature he was. I just blocked him. So yes, most of you were right. He was cheating on me. I'm thankful that I didn't move in with this jerk and I saw him for what he really was. An immature man-child. And yes, I will be sending the video to the university, though I doubt they will do anything. But yes, this is the update, and thanks again for all the support and kind words. They truly mean so much. I'm F29, pregnant, and my partner's M33. X hates me. Can someone give me advice? About 3 years ago, I, F29, started a relationship with a married man, M33. I know I shouldn't have, but I couldn't help who I fell in love with. To cut a long story short, his wife found out. There was a huge fuss. She attacked me and ended up asking him for a divorce. Eventually, me and him reconciled and decided to give a relationship a try. I admit I wasn't thinking of how it would affect his wife. Yes, I was selfish, and I've beaten myself up over it more than anyone else can. So please spare me your judgment. I'm not asking for that. I just need some advice. There's nothing you can say that I've not already told myself a million times. Unfortunately, since finding out my partner's ex-wife has done everything possible to ruin my life. And due to her, my close family members have come to find out things about my life I would have liked to have kept personal, which has caused me to lose close family and friends. The issue is this: I am pregnant. I'm against having an abortion for personal reasons, so I will be keeping this baby. However, I have no family support or even support from friends. My partner is going through a divorce. I'm desperately trying to keep my new home location a secret for obvious reasons. This is very stressful at a time where I don't need any extra stress. To add to this, my partner is no longer staying at his home and may lose it. This is extremely disappointing as he told me this wouldn't happen. I had planned that in the distant future, when things blow over, we might live there together. I know this situation is incredibly messy, but I also know it won't be forever. For now, I desperately need some advice, preferably from someone who's been through a pregnancy with limited family and friends. Support. I'm also not 100% sure how much support I'll get from my partner. He doesn't seem all too excited about the pregnancy, to be honest. I think his mind has been elsewhere, and I can't blame him. Has anyone been a situation like mine and has any advice for me? Does anyone have any advice to make me feel better about continuing a pregnancy with little to no support whilst dealing with someone who actively hates you? I don't think my partner's ex knows about the pregnancy. But if she does find out and tries to start trouble, does anyone have any legal advice maybe for what I can do in that event?